What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Third Eye Jedi, blowing people's skulls into a higher dimension of consciousness. Today, we're going to talk about EFT tapping. And, the fuck is that? Basically, it's a modality, it's a therapy that makes us feel, because a lot of times we tend to avoid certain feelings. And when we avoid and resist certain feelings, this is where trauma and this is where negative emotions come, because there's nothing wrong with a negative emotion. It's the attachment and the resistance that gives it its power and gives it strength, because there is really no negative emotion. Like, it's just part of the bigger spectrum and bigger part of being human and feeling ups and downs. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's when we judge it, when we resist and we resist and run away from it, that it gives it its power, and it has power over us. And we do this EFT tapping technique by re-experiencing it, accepting it, and then that's what allows us to process it, and then we eventually release it and feeling relieved or a sense of ease. That's the formula that goes in my mind. And my experience is I've used this for stress, for anxiety, for anger at work. And the epiphany that I've had when I'm doing it is that I'm giving myself permission to feel. And that my insight was that this trauma or the stress or whatever whatever it is, it's because we're avoiding the feeling. And that's what makes it unprocessed. So when we re-experience it, we process it, and then we are relieved. So the way we release negative emotions is to experience it fully and not partially, because we experience something at a very fragments of it and partially, and we don't want to feel that. So we don't allow it to take its full course, and we don't allow it to become to surface. It's like when emotion comes to surface, we get freaked out and we try to bury it beneath us. Instead, if it comes to surface, we just allow it to flow through us. And that we a lot of times, like, we run away from pain, from fear, from this unknown. But what's really trippy and something that I've been pondering on is that why are we so afraid of the unknown? Like, this is a place like where we came from. We came from the unknown, but it seems like we're so afraid of it. And we call it the unknown because when we get into different mindsets or different feelings, that are unknown territory, we don't want to feel that, and that's why it's unknown, because we don't know what's there. We don't want to feel pain and to feel fear, but sometimes our deepest wounds are the deepest healing. Sometimes these are portals into our higher selves or our spiritual gateways in a way. So to sum it up, it's not the emotion itself, but it's the attachment and the resistance that makes it bad. And that I'm kind of still working on the conceptual idea, but the two desires is that the first desire is the desire to understand things, to have rationality and logic and reason, and even philosophy. And the other desire is the desire to express, right? And I'm talking express in terms of art, in terms of music, dance, um, anything that you allow yourself to express. Because if you don't have an outlet to express yourself, when you reach and explore your mind into philosophy and consciousness, you will in a way lose your sanity. So this emotional expressive outlet is basically a your attempt to express your subjectivity. And when we look at it, when we look at a piece of art, or we hear a piece of music, we we are just interpreting what it is, and that's why we can't really judge art. So that's why I've been dabbling into ecstatic dance, because it's, for me, it's a way of to kind of keep my brain sane. Sane in the membrane, insane in the membrane, sane in the membrane. That's all I have for today. I'll report back with more epiphanies. Deuces. All seeing eye, watching you, your every move.